everybody. Welcome to Two Exiles, One Portal. Holy shit, almost flubbed that up. I am joined by Kasper, as always.
You're out of training. Out of training.
I'm out of practice. I'm also in Simulacrum, trying not to fucking get Cosist.
Jesus.
He doesn't like me.
It has been roughly 2 or maybe 3 weeks since we posted anything, and that is mostly my fault. Mostly my fault. No, it's entirely my fault.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm not trying to, not take blame here, but I don't think.
It's a team effort. You know what I mean? You haven't exactly strong arm. You're like, hey, bro, we got to do this, man.
Well, look at the fact of the matter is I don't feel comfortable telling someone with a family, hey man, fuck your family, dude.
You gotta work, dude. Come on, man. You got shit to do. I got shit to say.
You got work during the day, now you gotta work at night. And then you got your wifey mad at you and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to fuck up your day. Like,
no, it's actually so it's been a combination of things. Not to get into my personal life story on this episode, but like work, because it's getting warmer, work has been ramping up.
Warmer means ramping up.
Yeah, because that's when people go outside. In New York, I'm saying, it gets a little warmer, and then people just start going outside more naturally, and because of that, there'd be like more events on the outside. There's more community shit happening. You get more invitations to shit. Organizations start spending more money. Politicians start spending money, and then like when they spend more money, that means they want you to go out and do shit. You can't just sit in the office and just fuck off. So that's kind of what's been happening. It's getting a little warmer, and there's more money flowing, and unfortunately, that means I gotta do more work. And then I've been doing a lot of not late nights, but if I work for longer than, let's say I do a 9 to 5 and then I work another 2 or 3 hours in the evening, by the time I'm done, I'm spent. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like mentally, physically, I'm just done. Like I come do my house duties and then I just probably fall asleep. I may jump on the PC for like an hour or two and I kind of like pretend to play a game. And I've been trying to pretend to play Valheim.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, I saw you get on something recently.
I loaded up and I chopped 3 trees and I started dozing off. I started dozing off and I'm like, all right, whatever. Something about chopping trees in that game is so soothing.
She's like,
and if you don't ask me, ask Alex. See, because I remember Alex when I introduced him to the game, he logged in, and then I AFK for like an hour and a half. Came back, he mowed down the entire field of trees. And I'm like, what the fuck have you been doing? He's like, I'm just chopping trees. I'm like, are you collecting the wood for me? He's like, no, just it's fucking cool. I'm chopping trees. Like the physics of that game and the way you chop trees is just, for whatever reason, it's very satisfying. Like if you look at the game, it looks like utter trash. Like they put zero efforts into the graphical game, right? But because it did that, it looks freakishly cute. It's like when you look at an ugly cat, you're like, that cat is ugly, but goddamn, do I want to pet it?
It's the pug of
yeah, it's kind of like that. And for whatever reason, they put a lot of emphasis in detail into the chopping trees, like physics and shit. I don't know why, but they just did. And for whatever reason, it's just very satisfying to cut trees. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing these past 3 weeks. Just don't have it in me to grind out 2 or 3 hours of mapping. Don't have the time available right now. And then obviously, as you know, I've been kind of doing the whole house hunting thing, and that's been ramping up. So yeah,
fun.
Yeah, you can say that. Oh yeah, okay. So it's more like adulting.
Nah, this has been a whole man's.
But yeah, but you've been re-rolling characters.
Uh, I don't know. I have to check. I have to actually check because I've been playing this one for a minute and I remember re-rolling at least once, but I don't remember what I
This is
re-rolled.
your fourth character. I'm keeping track. And I
How
remember
is it?
about 2 weeks ago, I popped open Steam and I looked over you was playing. And I'm like, a Guardian? When the fuck did he make a Guardian? The fuck is he still playing? Who the fuck is still playing Path? And I actually for this episode I popped open Steam DB and looked at the numbers and only 15,000 players are right now, which is pretty much right on the money for this late into the league. It's so eerie. Every time I look at this, every time I look at the Steam chart as far as the numbers, it's so eerie that it's always symmetrical every league for the past year or 2 years. It's like you start at a very high peak launch day, which this year was this league was 189,000. And right around that 1 month period after that, it goes down to about 20,000 now. 20,000 players, give or take. And right now it's 15. How's the trading?
For some shit it's okay, but for most stuff it's really slow.
Mage Blood's on 15 divs, you told me.
50.
50, yeah.
I did not say 15. Don't get these.
Did I say that? My bad. I'm sorry. I mean 15. It's 15, guys. Go buy.
Go buy Mage Bloods. Well, if you ever want, again, this is the league. Like, if you ever wanted like a broken item, now's the fucking league to get it. But there are some things that are still fucking lunacy expensive, and it's usually stuff that has like conditional drops. So like Original Sin, shit like that. It's like
I hear that a lot of the drops from bosses are still a pain in the dick to get.
So,
like I've been hearing people complain about the fragment drops still being kind of like very hard to maintain a sufficient amount, because it's like you have to do fragments and also do pinnacles, but then you need to then the pinnacles don't drop it. Not the pinnacle, sorry, the tier 17s don't drop anything as far as fragments is concerned.
No. They almost always do.
All right, so maybe I misunderstood what the guy was on Reddit was saying, but there's an issue with not being able to sustain fragments. Like, no matter how much fragments you have, once you use it out and then you fight the boss, you typically don't have a way to replenish some of those things, and then some of the original bosses don't drop. I'm paraphrasing, I'm probably butchering it, but something I noticed, and whether or not it's true or not, I don't know.
I don't really do like too many Ubers right now. I'm kind of doing just like simulacrum. I'm trying. Miyu and I have decided to attempt to drop a 3 or a 1 passive voice, because they're fucking crazy expensive right now, and I want one because they're cool, and I don't actually want the actual thing. I just want to sell it. I need money. I want monies. But like,
how much have you gone through? You've been in hundreds of divs at this point.
In this,
at least I'm thinking 200-300 by now. I mean, typically you do at least 150 within the first couple of weeks, so you burn through.
I actually don't know.
Well, you roll at least 4 characters. Each of them are able to do 260 maps.
It's 3. It's not 4.
It's not 4? You sure?
It's not 4.
Okay, so Orobot.
I have an Orobot,
the Poison, and then the Guardian.
And now,
what is the Guardian anyway?
Bama.
You made a Bama?
I made a Bama. Why else would I need a crazy ass bow like that, bro?
I lost all respect for you.
Dude, with how much
I don't know.
fucking damage this shit does.
It does. It does. You went. You
So,
cooked yourself to the meta.
well, actually, believe it
Three
or not,
characters in, by the way. It's not even like. Not even
it's
like the first one. The second one.
I don't think Bama is like meta.
It's
Bama
it's
is
meta in the sense of like that is the peak character everyone's going for, like
so
damage.
I can tell you why it happened though, because I was sitting there, I was doing my headhunter thing with my peacock. I ended up getting like a really nice stack of money. I was like, oh, I was thinking about rolling to like Hex Blast Mines or COCDD. And I really couldn't like figure it out, and I wasn't, and I was just like, "What do you think, Mew?" And Mew was just like, "Make Obama," and
Of course he did.
he started linking a couple items that he had that would start out my Obama, and I was like, "Well, that," and he goes, "Oh yeah, and I got this, and I got this, and then that's cheap to fucking start
Well,
off
why
with."
why Guardian?
So Guardian means that I have to invest less in an area than Miyu does in another. I have to invest more in my minions to keep them alive, but I don't need to invest as much for damage.
Hmm.
Miyu, to make his build do a lot of damage, had to invest insane amounts of currency into his build. So my build isn't actually as good as his, but my build cost maybe
A fraction.
a third, like a straight up third of what his cost. And I maybe like 12% DPS off of him. Like I have 26 million Uber pinnacle DPS right now. And I actually think I have more. I have there's a couple things that POB isn't calculating, and getting it to calculate it correctly has kind of been a bitch. But this is definitely an incredibly strong build. I'm kind of happy I did it.
Trying to look POB. See what there aren't a lot of Guardian bombs.
Yeah, I am not like I know you said meta, and that's my
Okay,
thing.
I
Like
take it back. I take it back.
yeah, I don't think this is meta. This is strong as fuck, but it's not meta.
Yeah, I don't see anyone going bomb over Guardian. Okay. All right, I take it back. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
thank you.
enough.
I
You stayed
appreciate
over, you stayed a little original. Because
and
typically
straight
you will go like a crazy build.
yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't go like crazy expensive builds. Like you do go crazy expensive builds, typically mid or late thing, but not typically betas. You try to stay away from those for the most part.
I usually do. I don't like meta whoring. I want something unique, something where I'm like, oh, not everybody else is playing the game like this, and this is definitely like that.
That's good. That's good. So how much have you invested so far?
Do I count upgrades?
I just give me a rough number. You don't have to be.
Like it really
Investing
matters
does upgrade, right? Every time you
because
upgrade a piece.
probably 300, 400 div.
400 divs.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Are you not fucking? You better be demolishing shit. That's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I told you, 26 million Uber DPS, bro. Like this build is insane. I could probably farm T17s with this build like relatively easy. There's some things in this build that are incredibly expensive that I can't get because I haven't been able to save up like the 50 to 100 div for the one item. I've been making a lot of incremental upgrades. Fucking 40 div here, 50 div here, replacing an item. I've replaced the rings on this build like 4 or 5 times. Like, so that's why I'm like, if you're counting upgrades, I've spent an incredible amount of fucking money on this build.
Are you
But
even
if you're
recouping some of that money back when you sell like some of your low shit?
some of it,
Because
but
this late
again,
in the league, it might not be a lot of people trying to
no,
go hard.
as you've seen, not many people are playing Guardian Bomba. My needs are very niche. It cost me a lot to get these items.
Mm.
But usually the items that I was looking for were on the market for like 12 days. Like some shit that some dude put in his thing at like fucking 40 div. It was just like, I'm never looking at this shit again. But I know some fucker is gonna really want this. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. This has been a mission and a half. Like,
Damn,
but
300
also,
fucking divs.
also, this build has easily run like 120 sanctums, and I failed 4.
Hmm.
This build is incredibly good for sanctum.
I mean, you
I
spent
made
300 fucking divs on any build, better be fucking good.
well, not as you know,
I
not
mean,
every
not
build is meant
melees.
for all content. Well, but you know, like not all builds are meant for all content, right? So like, but for like sanctum farming, like if you change up how you play just a little bit normally, because like you normally play something like SRS, and after you play like SRS, you stand behind a wall, you summon all your shit, you go and they're going over there and they poison and they do the thing. This is very different. Like this is you walk into the room, you blink arrow past them, you use a mirror arrow in front of you, and then you run in circles while summoning your shit. And then things usually instantly die around you. But you're still having to pay attention for like traps. Bosses melt with this build. Um
More than trappers or miners?
way for me, it's way more.
Nah, if you would have
Like
spent 300 divs on a trapper or a miner.
I don't know, with 300 div on my old seismic trap would probably easily be like equal to this.
Okay.
Because I can't remember, but I think this might be completely fucking wrong. Someone may need to completely like hard fact check me on this, but I think like for Ubers, dot cap is like 27, 28 billion or 28 million.
Mm.
So and my seismic trap at the time was hitting dot cap. So it might, but that again, that build was infinitely cheaper, and I don't know how I could have spent another like 200 div on that build. I could have.
You feel like it had a cap on it that couldn't go further.
It had right because once you're hitting dot cap instantly, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that you're doing at that point is trying to make yourself immortal, which this build is very close to. And that was even before I bought Progenesis. I have a Progenesis.
Yeah. You said it so casually. I was going to say something, but I'm like, I'm just going to let it. I think I'm going to let it rock. But I'm glad you brought it up. It's just,
Yeah, it's just like I got one of those.
I mean, 300 divs. It's one of those things where it's like, there's no way you spend 300 divs on like
Garbo.
Yeah, like something better be because if a mage blood costs 50, like you need to spend a lot of money on just like what else other they would like amount to that kind of cash. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and Progenesis is one of those. Like yeah,
Well,
I can run you.
My jewels each because I have. Hold up, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 abyss jewels, and each of them cost me anywhere between 9 and 12 div. My bow, though I paid it off in waves due to our good friend Miyu passing down upgrades that I can pay off easily enough at actual market value at the time. It wasn't that bad. Like Actually, yeah, it was.
Me was sitting at thousands of divs and it's still not enough to fuel his engine. He's just like, need more.
Nah, well, so Miyu has been doing what I kind of been. So I finally hit a point where there needs to be a little bit of background on this. What I was doing is I was using
Falling
a
out of control is what you've been doing.
I was using a diadem to get ES for mana for stuff, and then reserving all of my mana, using that to make to give me more armor, and then using fourth vow to equate some of that armor to like elemental hits and chaos hits. The problem is to swap out diadem, you need to swap out like a lot of your tree and then get a different timeless jewel to get divine flesh there, and then path all the way to Eldritch Battery like manually, which adds a lot of like just pressure on your tree, and then trying to like stretch like where your points are, where your damage is. But the way to compensate for that and actually end up making an upgrade is by getting an 8-link helm, which is the other item that I sent you.
Yeah. Then that you
So
made that with corpses.
corpses, yes.
Yeah, I've been seeing those. That's not even the most ridiculous ones I've seen. Honestly.
No, it is not. It is
I've
not the
seen
most
some fucking just what
insanity shit. Yeah, like there's no way corpses go core. Like none. I can't. If
just
they do,
you know, I have to. Path plays are some of the most fucking dedicated players.
yeah,
To just eating utter shit and just like it's not bad. Like that fucking UI, dude, is not.
This is the thing, right? So I feel the same way about fossils. Doing fossils is a bitch. You have to take out the fossils. You have to take out the resonators. You have to unstack the resonators. You have to now put the fucking fossils in there, and then now you have to click your item. For me, rolling harvest, which is gathering juice, hitting a single button, hoping you get lucky, is just an infinitely fucking better way of doing it. Or essence, just fucking guaranteeing one mod and then rolling and hoping.
But the fossils emulate like items. It's sockets and items. At least that system is already like implemented when it comes to your items and gems. Like the whole coffin collecting body. I've seen one dude.
That is like, yeah. I have, dude. If you look at our guild stash right now, we have 2 tabs that have like that are half filled with coffins. After the fucking.
I've seen quad, like full
dozens of
coffin.
quad tabs.
Yeah. Like what is happening here?
And you can. And the funny thing is you can only use 88 per craft. So all of that is like, okay, well, I need fucking elementals, right? So you start collecting elementals ones, but you need the fracturing ones, so you're not getting those as often. So you're still collecting the other ones though, because you're like, well, multiple tries is better than than one try, and like as you go, like you're just sitting there waiting on like additional item fucking corpses that are basically like when you buy them are 3 div each.
It's such an extreme amount of dedication to just the pure grind of it all.
Honestly, I had to take almost an entire day break after corpse crafting. I'm not going to bullshit with you. I literally was so burned out that the next time I looked at Path, I was like, I can't play this. I need to play something else. I ended up playing Tekken. Like, and it was just, oh my god.
Because I really thought that this league was going to shit the bed. I everything about it was like, this is not intuitive. This UI is not great. The fact that, you know, some of the included content within the maps were okay. It felt like it was just a lot of more punishment and not necessarily a lot of reward, but every now and then they would sprinkle some reward with it. And
what ended up happening is the change that they made where they condensed all the tiers, that busted this mechanic. It was one of those things where it was strong as fuck before, but no one had realized it because of how much tedium you had to go through to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody just complained. So the fucking GGG was like, all right, what we'll do is we'll condense all the tiers, so you no longer fucking see corpses with like low shit tiers, and then you can just collect the things that you're looking for. After that, people were like, oh, okay, so there's now reduced, like, for instance, like scarcer cold, scarcer what's it called, but there's also scarcer elemental. And so it adds a lot of flexibility. You have you have 25% chance to split an item, 25% chance to fracture a mod, fucking 20% chance to craft an additional mod, plus the increased
So that there are no in betweens. Everything is already pumped up to the maximum
right,
percentage.
everything, yeah, so everything that you're getting is good, but the thing is it's only good for its specific job. But there's so many types of corpses to where like it still feels like, oh my god, you're still looking at each corpse, you're still deciding, is that the thing that I want? Unless like you have like gone and used another community made tool, which is the corpse planner. Yep, there is a motherfucking corpse planner, and it'll tell you your
That
percentiles.
reminds me of the harvest planner.
Yep, harvest. Yep,
Fucking
yep,
planning out your goddamn farm. Oh my
yep. And
gosh.
and you know what, bro? I don't know if you fucking noticed this, dog. This shit is way stronger than original harvest.
Oh yeah, no. I've
Original
seen some items. I've seen the items is like, what in the fuck?
fucking near perfect items
And
that are
everything is
like,
fractured. Just boom, 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 boom. 9, 8, 10 link items with like
yeah,
+2, +1, +5. Like what the fuck? Some of the ones I've seen, I'm like, nah, this is Photoshop, bro. Nah, this is Photoshop. There's no
no,
fucking way.
definitely not.
But people's like, nah, bro, it's a real.
Dude, like, it's funny because like even if you go and you do like something like really dumb, that's not really ethical, that no one's looking for, it kind of did it with randoms, but a whole bunch of modifier tier and a whole bunch of fractures, you'll get like these disgusting awful items with like the most unsynergistic mods, but they're all T1 and they're all fractured. Like,
Wow.
like it's just it's hilarious, dude. I kind of like the result. I hate the mechanic.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I kept whispering you about, and I did it a few times, was like, they still doing hot fixes? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like every fucking
because
2 or 3 days is a hot fix, hot fix, hot fix. Update.
because it's not only the corpses that were in their own way busted, it was the actual like league mechanic involved in your mapping as well. Meat sack farming became ridiculous for some people. Like, the people that figured that shit out, I think they had like a day and a half to like share it before it was patched. Like, and it's even now to this moment still pretty fucking strong. Like, it's good. They didn't nerf it enough, and but then again, I'm not really on the stance of like you have to nerf everything.
I mean,
The
this late into the league, this is what I find weird. That this late in the league, they're still hot fixing things. Like typically, GGG like lets things go crazy, but after like a month in, maybe 4 or 5 weeks in, they're kind of like, we'll learn from this,
We'll learn.
and then they start shifting gears towards the next league and how to adjust all those issues.
Right, but when a dude is dropping 2 mirrors a map, you can't really keep that in the game.
Like I'm just looking through the updates right now. Hot fix 6, fix an item that had invalid numbers of sockets. Hot fix number 5, they fix a socketing exploit. Hot fix 4, rare monsters that are shaper touch from the tier 17 mass modifier unintentionally have bonuses from rare monsters pantheon. Hot fix 2, 3, 1. Like these are all like 2-3 days apart. And that was for the latest patch notes, the 3.24.2, and it goes
Dude,
to.
they changed so much this league.
There's at
There's,
least 30 hot fixes from launch to now.
yeah, but like again, I think this is just the fact that they changed the scope of this league was ambitious as fuck. I have to be like, you have to like really consider that this is not only a mechanic for crafting like harvest, but an actual like legitimate way of interacting with your maps, on top of adding a whole bunch of atlas shit, on top of adding a billion fucking scarabs. Like,
Oh, dude, don't fucking get. That was my next. That was gonna be my next one. That was gonna be my next one. Let's finish this one first. I got
all
nothing
right,
less.
got that one locked and loaded. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Because I've seen some shit.
it's crazy, bro. Like right now, there are so many farming strats that are just really, really strong and really, really viable and really, really good, that there's some of them that were just broken. There was no way.
Well, I mean, when we were playing, it was the Rogue Exiles.
Right. And then
And they've patched that.
after you stop playing, it was meat sacks. And meat sacks got nerfed, but it's still like the premier
So
farming strat.
explain the meat sacks thing. What does that?
So from what I understand, because I never looked at an actual video to do it, I'm not a meta slave. I never watch those videos. I really don't. I not even most of the time. I see people doing it, and it's just like there's a couple things that cross my mind. Is one, the materials for it are probably fucking infinitely expensive now because there's a video out, and number two, I just don't think of. I don't want to be forced into one way of farming to make money, and I enjoy doing what I enjoy in the
You're
game.
not a meta bro.
I've been farming simulacrums, hoping for these fucking voice drops, not because I enjoy or I think it's a good farming strat. This shit has fucking lost us more money than I've made. If I wanted to make money, I'd still be doing Sanctum. Like, but it's just fun. I like it. This build is good at it. I'm hoping to get voices. I'm enjoying being able to watch anime on the side. But from what I understand, is they were bumping up, obviously, like the so what the meat sack does is it condenses all the mobs in a fucking pack into one mob and gives it all the HP that it had. So what they were doing is they were touching that and then running it through the map. And that, in conjunction with the gigantic rarity boost that it was getting from basically being an entire pack, like it was just, they were just popping fucking like mirror shards and shit, like
So
dozens of
I
or
quickly
not.
looked up the socket exploit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the socket exploit, from what I'm roughly understanding, is that basically it allowed you to make 6 links on items that are limited to just 3 sockets, or like no sockets, like Combs Heart. Like, Combs Heart only has there's no
Right,
sockets
you
on it.
can't.
And then
But they
like
were able to make it a
6
6 link by
link.
putting. Oh my
And
god,
so
that's
you could also
hilarious!
do it as shields. Shields is 3.
Right.
So you can make it
Oh,
into a 6 socket 6 links, a shield.
dude, what? Had I
And
known that shit,
that's
I would-
why it's an exploit, because that's,
right.
you're breaking
That's.
the, you know
I wonder if people ended up getting like banned or anything for that, or if they'd like fix the item retrospectively, like, or let them keep it.
how do you
I'm
do that?
curious
If you have like a 6,
if
if
you
you
had a
have
six.
one right now, you can't fucking, don't touch it. Don't, just keep it in your stash. Don't even use that shit.
Yeah,
Don't get
fucking
banned for
meme.
that shit. Just
Yeah,
look at it
meme
and
these.
just screenshot it like, I did it.
Put that shit on Reddit. Get your updates. Like,
Do that shit after the league, though. After the league, you're like, look what I have. But
look what
they
I
can't
have.
retroactively punish you.
Look where I'm taking the standard. Like,
Fuck, dude, that's just fucking crazy. But yeah,
but yeah, this league was fucking nuts, bro. Like, it took a while to gain traction, and
probably took a
it
little too
really,
long. I think if they would have fixed out some of the they did the best they could, man. They were on it, like with fixes and shit. It's just like it was had so many kinks though. It took a little bit to really, hammer that shit in. I think by that
also
time it was already a month in, and most people's like they got drained. They're like, "Fuck, I can't do this no more."
can't do this shit. It was also like, I think a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out, when it comes to like you're seeing all these people drop crazy stuff. You're not that fucking strong. Like, and I feel like there's a lot of like demotivation of the community because they see all these other people, streamers and shit, making fucking like oodles and oodles of money, but they're not doing it, and they're just like, oh, this is bullshit. My meat sack farming isn't working. Like,
It It definitely is. I think that that's very serious issue right now um with the, I want to say the common folk. I, I want to sound demeaning here, but the non 10 percenters of players that play League and love ARPGs like we do, and kind of want to fucking just do it, but like there's so much time invested that has to go into the game to even get remotely good that it's kind of like, fuck, do I have to dedicate my life to this motherfucker? Like, what is it? I have to kill my firstborn child?
Here is an arm and a leg.
So I can understand.
Like,
I
and
can
also
understand.
this Turtle Hangout League, bro. Like, there's so much hype. Like, it's so much shit, and it's just so strange.
The shit that make me lost my fucking mind was like 3 weeks in when they added more scarabs. I forgot when it was, but it was like 3 weeks in after I'd done like
Yeah, they're like, oh
kind
yeah,
of quick.
by the way,
Here's some more variations to fucking scarabs. I looked at the update. I'm like, are they fucking kidding me?
I
What the
thought the
fuck?
same thing.
Why? Like,
Yeah,
there's like 1,000 fucking scarabs right now, and it's just like, I mean, is
to
this
be
what is
honest,
intended? Like, what in the fuck is going on?
I'm not upset by it. I'm really not. I love getting oodles of content.
Here's my issue with it, and maybe I'm being a complete ass, but can you give them better names? I
What do
feel
you
like
mean?
I feel like their neat naming scheme of these characters are kind of like they were
Horn
throwing just
scarab,
shit. They were throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
horn scarab of nemesis,
Yeah, it was
scarab of
just like
strangers. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, they all kind of describe what they do. Like, what the fuck did you want?
I
Like,
don't know. I don't know. Maybe again. Maybe I'm
no,
being
no,
a
no, no,
little.
no. Hold up. I'm actually curious. Hold up. Breaches in area have 5 to 10 additional class hands. Class hands in area are guarded by rare breach monster. What would you call that?
So the breach. So some of the content ones. All right. So you remember the how the previous format of Scarabs were, right? They were like their tiers were in the name. So like the winged
Guild.
scarab of breach.
Yeah.
Right, and that prefix allowed you to understand how rare it is. But now they did away with that system, and then now each different type of breach scarab is something completely different, and there's no tiers. They're all equal ground, and they just have different descriptions to what they are, and it's kind of fucking hard to tell which ones are rare, which ones are not rare, which ones are like
that they are not on equal ground, unfortunately.
No, I know they're not, but the point is that they're treating them like they are. Like almost this one is just different than this one. This one does something completely different.
They have like a distinct like visual scheme. Like
someone, of course, made or is making a overlay to help you understand their value.
Okay, so I feel like people are being a little ridiculous if that's it. Like, I understand for the noobs. Yes. Oh my god, noobs don't understand the value of fucking anything.
But yeah,
we have price checkers. Price check your scarabs, you fucking scrub asses. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, I'm really confused here because
I saw it on Reddit. I was like, wait, what? It's like, oh, it's like I'm making this overlay. It would show you with a simple click of a button. It'll show you the value of all your current current scarabs. I'm like,
you can also bulk TFT fucking .com or whatever the fuck that shit is.
Wealthy Exile.
Wealthy Exile. But there's so many choices. That's just someone unwilling to fucking do someone else's something.
They
You
just
know what
want
I
the
mean?
information readily available right there. Like you don't have
Dude,
to.
Awaken PoE trade. You just fucking put your cursor over it and click a button, and it tells you how much that stack of scarabs is worth. Like, I don't know, dude. That to me seems like just someone being petty.
True. I
Like,
just thought I'm like, and then they added new ones. I'm saying to myself like, how far are they going with this? They got. I hope. Maybe I'm being too much. Maybe I'm doing too much. But I'm thinking to myself, are they gonna redo this whole scarab thing? They're gonna say that like, yeah, we kind of went too hard.
You have to remember that we lost sextants.
Okay, fair enough.
But
I don't know if this system is better.
I do. I don't know. I feel sorry. That it might be a better fucking way of expressing that.
I mean,
I don't. Yeah. It's subjective.
You are
I
you are qualified to know, sir.
I think the system is a lot better than sextants. I fucking hated sextants. It was very random. Usually you make money and if you decided to do that, which made it a really easy way for people to get ahead early league, and just kind of made a really like poor system of like scarab markets, or not scarab but the fucking sextant market. And I didn't like the sextant market. Fucking scarabs are very easily found. There's enough of them to where you're not sitting there like, oh, I only get these things, but I don't feel like rolling them to do this. No, you're getting the rolling currency that's for your maps here as well. Like, you're not having to roll a separate thing that doesn't feel connected. You're putting the scarabs thing.
Theoretically speaking,
mm-hmm.
You think they would add a 6 slot to the map?
What happened?
Theoretically speaking, you think they would ever add a 6 slot to the map device?
I hope so.
I mean, it's pretty hard to get your 5th.
It is, but it's also the strategies that would enable with the current scheme is really, like, I think it's a fine line. If we had 6 available slots for fucking scarabs, bro,
because that's technically what the sextants were, right? It was like our artificial 6 slot, because you had your 5th slots, which you can use scarabs,
right,
and fragments or whatever, and then on sextants on top of that you could add to your void stones.
Yes.
So now that you no longer have void stones, sextants,
you still have void stones. You no longer have sextants.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like the point. I know the purpose of void stones, but it's like, for the purpose of end game farming, like.
No, they're there. They increase your drop rate of T17s.
No, I meant for when it comes to sections. Like, if you have that 6 slot now being officially in your nomad device, where you can add another scarab on top of that.
If you could add another scarab onto the farm, or like even onto farming strategies that currently exist, if you add another scarab to them, they're broken.
I mean, it's only going to benefit the top percent, anyways.
I suppose that's true, and I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that the game should be balanced around the top 1%. But again, the top 1% were printing mirrors.
Because I'm thinking about how to get your 5th slot. Even me, that know what I'm doing, it takes me a few to take, because either I pay for a 5-way, or you farm enough to get
no! I didn't tell you. Oh, friend. 5-ways are fucking dead.
What happened?
I leveled from 98 to fucking 100 in like 2.5 hours with Miyu.
Okay, what happened? Should we clip this for everyone?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think the strategy's already out there. It's their scarab of teachings, and what they do is they increase
teaching.
Yes, which add like experience onto mobs or some shit. Like they increase while you have shrines. Yeah. Hold up. Shrine buffs also give you a buff to your experience gain, and then you take like all the shrine shit, and you end up with like fucking 12
Wow, a
shrines on you,
30% increase experience gain. You're
and it
right.
stacks, and it stacks, it stacks.
So you can use 3 of these bitches? 4?
No, no. Each of the shrines.
But wait,
You know
this
how
this
like you
says
can.
the scarab teaching the scarab enhances experience gain from the area, providing a 30% increase experience band. So you stack this with the shrine experience shrines.
No, well, no, not experience shrines. You stack them with shrines, right? So you know how you can get the thing that gives you double shrines, and then you can add shrines via more scarabs, and you can add shrines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each shrine is adding the 30%. Each shrine buff is adding the 30%. So when you click one shrine and you get two, you get 60%. You click another shrine and now you're at fucking 120%.
What? I don't think that's intended. That seems broken. I don't believe it.
Bro,
I'm
I
skeptical.
I leveled so fast.
The scarabs increases experience gains from shrine buffs, which are beneficial effects granted by activating shrines in the area. These shrines can be regular dominating shrines or additional unusual shrines introduced by the dominating scarabs of abnormality.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. So me and I were literally just blasting maps with like a whole bunch of breach. Dude, I kid you not, dog, we leveled in like 2 or 3 hours. It
So
was
wait, TFT don't wait. I gotta go look at this.
no. Like they're there. I just think this strategy just literally obsoletes it, and I don't know how much they cost. I didn't even look. I didn't have to look. We literally did this experience thing while
They're
making
still
money.
selling. They're still selling these for 3 divs, a
Oh
5
my
run.
god! That well, the fact of the matter is first of all, it's not AFK. But
But
while
if you could
doing
do
it,
it in your regular, just flow of things, get
yeah,
3, 4 levels
and
at
you're
level
making money.
92, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Most people use 5 ways to get to that final hump of like that last 10 levels.
Yeah.
Unless you're really
But
lazy on 68, get to 85.
like completely unnecessary. Like, bro, the like every map was for at level 99 was like 6 to 9% experience, depending on your breach chain luck. Like, but it's crazy. I was sitting there like,
Because if
dude,
you
this
get
is
the bonus and you get the Atlas map that gives you more shrines.
yes. So if you get lucky and you pick up like 5 shrines in the beginning, and then you have like 5 breaches that are all within
I
range of
wonder
each
if
other,
excuse me. I wonder if it that shrine that gives you more than one effect.
it works. Yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can end up with like of just a sheer retarded amount of fucking increased experience gain.
You know what this reminds me of? Something completely unrelated whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. I haven't seen a melee weapon that someone created with corpses that looks bonkers. And I wonder
Mm,
why.
not very many people are playing melee.
I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, I
But
haven't seen.
there's no reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah, that.
Like,
Yeah,
but yeah. Like there's or well, no reason why you can't. Like, but
exactly.
a lot. Oh,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
hold on. You,
You found your phone?
did did I just find a mirror?
Fuck out of here.
Not a literal mirror, but
Oh, I'm like, got this shit live on recording.
no. Like, hold up.
Wait, stream.
No. It's a megalo. I'm price checking it.
Oh,
Molten One's Mark and Guerrilla Tactics. Guerrilla tactics, 2 fire resists, will generate trap and mine damage. Throwing speed 5%. RF? Bow skills. I don't know.
Righteous Fire. People playing that right now?
I don't know.
4% of people playing Righteous Fire. All right, Righteous Fire. Where are you?
I'm just gonna list this for like 10 div. I feel like there's a guy out there trolling. Because there's no way this is because you can't get above 2% or above 90%. I don't know why this would be worth a mirror. I don't think this is an actual mirror. It would be fucking cool as shit if it was.
What is it?
But
What is that?
It's a megalomaniac. The adds 4 passive skills, added small passives, grant nothing, and then they add 3 random notables. And there's one combination of notables that I was looking at that a guy has listed for a mirror, but that doesn't mean that it's worth a fucking mirror.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So that's why I'm like hesitant to be happy, but I'm not gonna lie, that is the best price checked item I've ever price checked. If it's worth a mirror, I'm a fucking shit. Like, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be able to finish this build.
Jesus Christ, that's what it takes. Welcome to the 1%. You need a mirror to finish your goddamn build.
Bro, our homie me deleted like 300 divines fucking trying to synthesize his bow.
I mean, that's okay. He has a few thousand.
Yeah, well, not anymore. He like every night, dude, he was making big money selling like boss drops for like 70, 80 div and then burning that 70 to 80 div with like 20 fucking beasts to reroll fracture or to reroll synth implicits. And he was just burning them. He was doing like, and he would sit there and he'd be like, "Oh, I just sold something for 12 div. I'm gonna go buy some beasts." And like in the middle of a simulacrum, like wave like 22.
Oof. Again,
It's just like okay.
For
like,
anyone
I
listening to this, like, this is big baller shit. I can't even. I'm not even gonna say it and claim like I do this shit. Like I don't even participate
either.
in that baller ass shit.
I have yet to be able to just like decide to roll my synth implicits for 3 div each and lose 100
I think it was on Reddit. I seen the comparison between a billionaire and a millionaire, right? And they had a camera, and they were going down all the yachts, right? And they were like, and they were kind of like, the amount of money that the person has to the size of the yacht. And they would, at one point, if there's no yacht, right? And they pan to the fucking billionaire yacht. And it's just so ridiculous. I mean, just the sheer size. It's not even twice the size, not even 3 times. It's like hundreds of times bigger. Like, This is what we're referring to right now when it comes to like burning this many divs and for a crafting modifier that doesn't even work. And then you gotta try it again and again. And
he had spent 100 div on a fractured bow with 3 synth implicits that was near perfect and was just trying to roll them into perfect synth implicits and just was failing. He ended up settling for 1 good mod
after spending like 3 mirrors.
Yeah. No, not 3 mirrors, but like 300 some div. Yeah. Like it was an interesting thing to watch. And then he was like, "You know what? if I go and I get veiled orbs and I start slamming these 80 div bows that have projectile speed, if the veiled orb removes the projectile speed, it can only hit double damage, but it's a 1 in 6, and if I get it, it's a mirror. Like, so now he's just like, yeah. So now he's just trying to like quadruple down on some shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, you're crazy. Like, stop. You need help.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I think any super dedicated path player is on the brink of a gambling addiction.
Absolutely. Well, actually, that depends. I don't 100% agree. That depends. For instance, if you're someone who can make a build, go and do Ubers, drop the unidentified version of like a Watcher's Eye that's worth like 10 div and not identify it and just sell it, you do not have a gambling problem. But if you're sitting there and you look at that Watcher's Eye, item level 85, and you're like, it's a 1% chance, but if I ID this and it's this,
I always ID it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta know. I gotta know between whether it's worth one chaos or it's gonna worth 3 mirrors. I need to know.
I know the feeling because it happened, right? I was trying to buy my Progenesis. I was at 54 div and I was getting really impatient. I really felt like it would like really help. And I was like, dude, I need to get to 60. I'm going to go and farm an Uber Series real quick. I'm going to drop him an Uber Elder.
Oh.
Yeah. And drop me a Watcher's Eye and just sell that shit for 10 div. I ended up selling something else after I dropped the Watcher's Eye, the 1 out of 3. I hit the roll. And I was sitting there, I listed it, and something else sold. I had the divs, I bought the Progenesis, and then I D'd the Watchers. I couldn't even wait for it to sell. I was just like, oh, it just all depends on whether I need an item right now or not.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do it though. What is it? What's your favorite saying?
Live for the streets, die for the streets.
It's just kind of.
You and I were fucking doing that one hard this league, bro. Oh my god. And I'm not gonna bullshit with you, dog. Miyu has 100% earned the right to say that he died for the streets this league. He's lost so much fucking money.
But he's gained, like he's farmed a ridiculous amount. Equally.
True. Yeah.
Like from day 2.
Yeah, dude. He goes fucking hard, bro.
Like just fucking just I'm not like 2 or 3 people who go hard, right? But they even pale in comparison to Miyu.
Yeah, 100, bro.
Like
I've never come across a player on this particular level. Like he's probably like 13. Like like that. Sometimes that's the only. This is the stereotype, right? When someone's better than you, they must be like a no-lifer. Like that's like the best way to describe the situation, because it's like it's not that he's no-lifing it. It's just he's on another stratosphere of like strategy,
knowledge of the game.
Yeah, and min-maxing, and like, dude, he's tried to get me to change my Atlas tree like so many fucking times to farm certain shit, and I'm like, bro, it's just I can't do your particular strategy for one reason or another, and it's just like, and he's like, no, but if you do this to your build and do this to your build and do this to your build,
it's only going to cost you 3 mirrors. It's okay, we got this.
Bro, hold up. This exact situation, not literally 3 mirrors, but this exact situation just happened like fucking an hour ago. I made the swap with this helm, right, to get the 8 link fucking 2/7 link.
The Blizzard Crown?
Yeah. So okay. I got my shit there. I'm like, dude, fucking, it feels awful because I'm losing CDR on some other shit. And he's like, oh, but you just get the double implicit to get this and this. And I'm like, all right, well, let me go and see how much the double implicit on that shit. Fucking 60 div. And I'm like, bro, I have 18 chaos right now. Like, it's just like, he has a
never ending, even when he's okay. So Mio is a kind of like it's funny because I teach a financial class. To I mean, there's no other way to put this, but poor people. Um, and one of the things I do is that I try to make the distinction between net worth and wealth, right? The two differences.
Mhm.
And what me is the type of dude that has a high level of net worth, but doesn't necessarily have a lot of wealth at certain times. So he will blow through all his wealth, right?
One
He
hundred
will
percent.
like, but because he has such a high level of net worth, he's able to recoup back that wealth in no fucking time. And
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't understand the two differences of like, why can't I have both? And this is not. This is that he utilizes his wealth very, very, very strategically and builds more and more net worth.
Yeah.
Where to the point where he knows that I can blow through 1,000 divs.
And I'll
All I
make it
have to
back.
do just run this. He will magically flip from content to content. Like, oh, I'm gonna just run heists, and then start running heists out of fucking nowhere, and then start earning 1,000 divs.
Hundred, yeah, yeah, yeah. A couple hundred fucking divs selling fucking implicit rings.
It's almost like he smells the money. Like, oh, I gotta. Wait, no, I gotta go that way. I gotta go that way. It's just
the,
like,
the, the
what? What made you run fucking heist? And it's just like, and this is like sometimes day 2 or day 3.
He's like, oh, it's just easy money, and
Says
it's just like
who? Like, what are you watching? Who are you
it's
following, bro?
just trippy, bro. Like, and he's always trying to get me to do it because he's like, you could get like a whole bunch of money doing this, and I'm like, yeah, but you have to understand, I'm in comparison to just how good at the game he is. He's also really good at the game.
Yeah.
Like he understands certain things. Like for instance, I hate heist. I've never had a build that does it well, that doesn't randomly get one shot. As a matter of fact, this build can probably do heist.
Well, I mean,
It better.
it's because most builds can't sustain shotguns, which is like 80 mobs hitting you at the same time.
Yeah, this build, because I'm running Defiance, Defiance of Destiny, which gain 42% of missing unreserved life before being hit by an enemy. So I physically cannot get shotgunned. Plus Progenesis, plus recoup on my ring, plus like some recoup elsewhere. Like it is so hard to kill this character, but it's funny. I'm either freeze immune or I'm really tanky to dot damage because dot damage is the weakness of this build. So sometimes I'll go into the dot defense and not be freeze immune, and I'll literally be stuck in a loop of just being hit by mobs and healing and being frozen for like 3 minutes. And like
Hmm.
they're not bitch mobs, like they're just whacking on me, and I'm just watching my health bar trying to fucking like flame dash away during like a downtime somewhere.
That's interesting.
Like this build is incredibly hard to kill, but Shaper Beam, fucking Kosis, fucking Bleed, and the physical dot damage that is around in the game, like that shit fucks me over. Also, because my all of my jewels, my abyss jewels are like 8 to 10 div, they're really, 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 really risky to corrupt for corrupted blood.
Hmm.
So I'm not corrupted blood immune other than my life flask, which just kind of makes the whole that just corrupted blood thing just like a bitch. But you know, it's a rant I'll go on for a year. I've had a lot to do this league. I hear you clicking. What are you doing?
No. I'm just kind of looking at information as you're
Uh
talking, trying to see like there was something that I saw that I kind of wanted to run it through you, but I can't find it now, so it's like I don't want to bring it up and all half-assed like I usually do. Um,
why not? I'm curious now.
I'm not prepared, honestly. Like it was like a vague idea in my head, and I'm saying to myself, like, where did I see it? And I'm trying to like pull up the fucking page, and I'm like, damn it! And now that you put me on the spot, now I can't come up with it. So I don't want to make an ass of myself, honestly. If I think about it, we might put it after the recording or something and make it a short. But
Okay.
I think this is a good segue to what the fuck is happening in the game state of games.
Uh,
So
Companies are trying weird shit, and sometimes that weird shit is called upon and being like, "What the fuck?"
so Diablo 4 season 4.
Oh, I haven't even fucking looked into
Don't
that.
do it.
Fuck.
Don't even do it. Don't waste your time. Don't even do it. I did it for you. They're calling it Loot Reborn.
Oh, that sounds
Basically, they're gonna
awful.
redo their loot system to include different affixes and better ways to upgrade people's gears. So basically, they're gonna break every single character that currently exists. Because if you're gonna redo that much of the, not even the mechanics of the game, you're redoing the loot system. Then that means that you're gonna change affixes that no longer exist. Basically, you're gonna break people's characters. This is what's gonna happen. And they're doing this all for season 4. Now I don't know how this is gonna impact people who are already part of uh what they I don't know what they would call like people who transition onto regular, not necessarily like leagues or seasons.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know if they have a standard.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be universal or is this gonna be exclusive to season 4. They don't really go into specifics in this article in IGN, but the one thing that tells me is that the game is not rewarding. It looks nice, but the best way I can describe this is with a nice post I saw with what is it, Incredible Man or Invisible Man, when he goes, look at what they have to do to even emulate a fraction of our power.
Yeah.
And on one side is Path's fucking loot system, and the other side is like Diablo or Last Epic.
Yeah.
Like it's just, man, like that's the one fundamental thing about these games. The loot system is not rewarding, and it's not like crack. As annoying as the corp system is, as annoying as it is, it's still tolerable.
Only because, but you have to remember, right? So everything is a balance, and you have to balance rewarding with pain in the ass to use. And right now, I think that the balance is hit,
Mm-hmm.
but only because it's so fucking rewarding. Like you should show someone like, or you should stream or screenshot like one of these items and show like what we're talking about, because like this shit is fucking insanity. Hold on, let me see if I can find one.
I'm 90% sure I can find one. Let me see. Google, Reddit, corpse. Wait, POE corpse craft. Okay, boom. Wait, no. Oh, that's a good one. A Flesh Ripper. That's 500 DPS.
A flesh ripper.
Yeah, it's a two-handed axe. But it's not mod. It's not even the craziest one. No, this is not the one with the fraction mods. No.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
This might take me a little longer than I expected.
Then you're anticipating.
Yeah. But then I've seen. No, I'm sure people. If you look, man, if you're not well
I might
versed,
just.
go
Am
onto
I
the
gonna have
Reddit,
to? I think
follow.
I might. Hold up. Show them mine.
You got one?
I'm literally looking at Google, bro, and
Where'd you put
my
it?
helm, my helm. It's in
All right, let me
droppings.
open link. All right, let me open a link. Just make it bigger. Scroll over, and then I'll show it on the thing. All right, so if you're listening to this podcast, flip over to your picture. Dingy ding.
So there's 3 mods here that are guaranteed, right? And it's the level 20 minion damage, concentrated effect, and the +3 to critical strike chance. Uh, we guarantee the socketed gems deal 30% more elemental damage with essence, and literally we just have to make sure there's an open prefix for life, and we were literally just random suffixing. Like I have no real like preference for a suffix because it just didn't matter. The item's so goddamn good.
Trying to make it bigger, guys. Sorry. Just give me a second so that way you can see it. All right. So basically, yeah. So if you're listening, flip over to your video and you'll see the example. Basically,
Pseudo 8 link.
This. So you made this.
Yes.
By the way, this is trash compared to what I've seen.
Yeah. This is not good. This is very unoptimal.
Yeah. But this is just a taste of the craziness I've seen.
It was 27 div of corpses.
Like I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen 7, 8 mods.
Yeah, fractured, and all they're doing is like slamming fucking health or some shit. Yeah,
yeah. It's just like what, like it's. I can't even describe it. I can't describe it. It's undescribable. It's just like it's one of those things where you just had to see it. You just had to be there.
It's insane. Like Miyu's, the one that he has is better than mine. And there's 1 or 2 that we've seen on the market that are better than this. I used what do you call that? A recipe. Someone had posted their recipe for trying to make something very
that's
similar.
That's gonna be in what do you call that? Craft of
Craft of Exile.
Craft of Exiles. How to craft that item. What corpses to use.
They have certain things of corpses for the Craft of Exile, but I don't like it and it sucks. But the community made fucking planner is fucking sick titties. Like I cannot stress how good the community made planner for corpses is. It's
yet
insane.
Again, one other reason why Path is better than most other ARPGs. Isn't because of the game it's crazy great. It's because of the community.
Yeah, there are some crazy people who have done some major work on this, but also figuring
people
out
love sharing information.
That's true. Like recipeing a lot of this shit is kind of.
It's like people who love to bake.
Yeah.
One thing that anyone loves to bake is they love teaching a motherfucker how to bake.
I don't know, dude. This is so much fucking worse than baking.
I mean, I'm just saying, like it's the real life equivalent. Like a person who ask a motherfucker who know how to make sourdough, and watch them how fast they'll try to teach you how to make sourdough. They'll tell you what to buy, how to do the dough. Like they are ecstatic when you were like, "How did you make that?" I'm like, bro, let me show you, bro. Let me show you a whole new world. That's how path players are when it comes to this shit. They're like, they'll make a sick ass item. They figure out like, oh, this is the way to do it. Oh, I need to make an app. Like, I need to make an overlay. I need to make some kind of resource to tell other people of this craziness.
Someone else has to figure this shit out. Like, but it's awesome, dude. I love the Path community. I love how good some of the like interesting things that you can make in there being a huge option and swath of shit to do. It's like it's just fucking nutty. There's like you have ways of guaranteeing items, but guess what? Finding those mods with the right fractures normally is really hard. And that it's also made like jewels with fractures kind
but
of.
But you can buy corpses, right? And you can sell corpses. So that's that. You don't have to technically find all the corpses. You go through your tier 16, 17 maps.
Not gonna lie,
find
dude,
some of it, and then buy the rest.
Buying corpses is a bitch. TFT kind of has the best way of buying corpses at the moment that I found.
Well, it's. Remember when Jules first came out? That was the same thing. Even Beast. Like you can even
True.
trade beasts when it first came out. Now you can. So I mean, look, if they decide to keep some of this functionality in, it'll get better. Chances they won't keep it because it's broken as fuck, like recombinators. I know it's a soft spot. I'm sorry. As I said it, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
That oh my god, dude! Could you? I couldn't imagine the items that you could make if we had recombinators. Actually,
Probably
I
not as
don't.
probably not as crazy as
Yeah.
this.
No, yeah. I was actually just thinking right now. I don't think that. Actually, maybe you could.
Combinate fractured mods.
Well, no. Well, that's not necessarily the issue. The issue comes because instead of fracturing, you would just use more tier or just basically more like defining modifiers instead of like the fracture, and you would end up with like a really good
Who's trading?
oh that is big, but it it puts up a very interesting like way of getting types of mods because it's hard to get types of mods from different influences,
Mm.
but it's if you were to able to do like recombinating multiple types, then it would be really crazy. Like or double what do you call that? Double influence. Wait. Oh, he wants the divine blessing. Stoops. There it is. Almost gave a guy a wrong item. Sorry. Uh, but if you could recombinate double influenced items to make like quadra influenced items, or even just two single influence items to make a double influence item with recombinators, and be able to like guarantee certain things
Imagine
with.
that. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
god! Well, but it's hard to like really grasp that because right now people are already making perfect items. Like the bow market right now is weird because mirror tier bows are going for like 30-40 div. Like that's insane. Like me actually like the big thing that convinced me about this was he's like, bro, you'll never get a chance to play a build that's so reliant on bows and be able to actually get one. It's just
Mm.
like fuck. You're right because this crafting has made perfect bows and lots of them.
Yeah.
And man, a lot
That
easier to
tried
buy.
damage. That's tried damage.
Yeah,
Plus,
tier one try LE like
yeah, it's hard to hit that. I mean, before that, it was the only way to really do it was uh, fossils, and that
yeah,
would get
and
expensive very fast.
very fast. And even then, like you could do essence, but you would be like that's
The rolls you get are like sometimes you get 1T1, you get like it's not really reliable.
T1, T6, T10. Like
Yeah, it was like, all right, it works, but not really. Like you're gonna spend
yeah.
another 200 divs in order to try to get a even like tier twos, tier threes.
It's like right now my bow is 1670 DPS. Like total DPS
Mhm.
1540 elemental DPS.
How do you deal with the reflect?
Awakened hold up, I'm trying to find it. Awakened added elemental, I think.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm trying to find it. Awakened elemental damage with attacks. 10% increased damage with attack skills, 39% elemental damage with those attack skills, and elemental damage from supported skills cannot be reflected.
That's a worthwhile gem.
Indeed.
Like the fact that you don't have to worry about reflected.
Yeah, at all. Like whatsoever. It's really cool.
By by all of the other, I mean, there's some really cool awakened gems, but that one specifically, I found like that one hit the mwah, like right, like exactly where it should have been.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you mean I can't worry about the one thing that I fucking
That can
hate?
kill me. It will
Is money.
guarantee my death and probably eliminate me from doing like half the maps.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. It's cool.
Because I remember they took away the two reflect mods, the physical reflect and the elemental reflect modifier. Because I remember that used
They
to kill people.
they took it away. What do you mean?
Well, they used to be within the pantheon of the rare mods. So when you go in, every now and then you'll come against a rare
Oh yeah,
mod
yeah,
that
yeah,
has the
yeah.
element of reflect, and it, like you don't see it. It fucking it could be off the fucking
Yeah.
3 screens away, and whatever you're
You
doing
just
hits it, boom, you're dead.
blows up. Yeah, yeah. You're just
Yeah,
toast.
so I had to take it away. Like, all right, we gotta do it with this mod. Um, and this was what 4 leagues ago, 5 leagues ago, maybe. But a lot of people are like, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about that bullshit anymore.
Yeah, it's rough having to deal with that bullshit. It's reflect is not fun, and then
It's
it's
there's 1,000 ways to die in Path, right?
yep, and
And I
all
know
waiting
that's one
for
of the things that a
a
lot of
one
new
shot.
players struggle with is like how to stay alive long enough.
How? Why am I dying? Just
I
like yeah, the game doesn't like you.
I still think they should implement. I mean, for what the game is, last Epoch at least implemented a few good things that like I think really keeps the player informed of what's going on. And I don't know why it was a limitation on Path, and maybe they're gonna do it in Path too. But really knowing what killed you, like whether it's the element, whether it's like it would immensely help new players understand like, oh, you just got hit by $15,000, 15,000 damage. Like that's
So, but this is my problem, right? This is my issue with that. Saying you died from physical damage, or saying you died from elemental damage, or what type of elemental damage does not help. That is not going to really express to you why you're actually dying because it's not a single thing. It's never a single thing. Your build has to overlap so many defensive layers to kind of take into account everything. And if you don't and you skip around it, then you have to play around it. I as I've never felt that way like super hard until I started playing this build and it or like my ward loop build where one or two things kills you. That's it. Your build is nigh immortal, but one or two things will just fuck your build up just as mods.
you know I get that point, and I think you start hitting that once you start getting to yellow maps, where layers now start to really become impossible to
Incredibly.
like avoid. Like you need
Yeah.
to have self spell suppression. You need to have enough armor, if not armor, ES, some fucking layer. And then you have to have max resist. You have to have maybe have +1 to fucking resist. And
And then there's also things that people don't think about that I think should be kind of like brought up more or shown in other ways. Like, for instance, fourth vow. Armor also applies to chaos damage taken from hits.
then there's
That
also the other ones that says you take X amount of damage as fire damage or as cold
right.
damage.
And those like help really hardcore mitigate a lot of one shots. Like I think right now nothing short of Shaper Slam will kill me in one. Like I can take a normal Shaper Slam if I have literally full HP. I think I have like 30 to 40 more HP that I need. But if it's any more than that, I'm fucking toast. But like so if he crits, I'm fucked because I'm only 80% reduced damage from
It's
criticals.
been a while
But
since I've heard the devs speak about this as far as what's their thoughts on this. I don't know if recently they have anyone have asked them. Maybe just general path plays don't really care anymore.
what do you mean? I'm
Um,
sorry.
Care about the fact that cause of death, like letting the player know what killed them.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what their thoughts on it recently is. I haven't. No one has really asked. None of the streamers, none of the people who interviewed any of the guys have asked this question. So I'm
Most
curious of what they would think these days.
most people that I see that are looking for some kind of like help or information is usually coming from like general chat. where someone will be like, "Oh man, fuck this map, it sucks," and they'll be like, "Well, what are the like mods on it?" Or let me look at, and someone will like volunteer to look at a build, or something like that, and like people learn, and the like this is a very assistful community. If you go onto the general chat and you ask a couple questions, you're gonna get a couple fucking douchebags that are gonna fucking give you some troll answer. But there's gonna be one or two people in that general chat that really give a fuck with you being able to play the game.
I would just might straight out whisper you.
Yeah,
They won't. They
most
won't
like
bother
I do.
replying. Yeah, they'll just whisper you.
I anytime I'm doing nothing and I'm waiting for trades, I have general chat open and I'm looking for people asking questions or just people talking shit. Like I just find it funny. Like general chat is a very someone will ask like, "Oh my god, how do I get critical strike reduction?" It's just like, "Oh, it comes from implicits on like your chest piece. You can get it on the tree via the mastery." Like just give people a little bit of information because you remember before you knew that, and having gained that information is like, man, that's fucking awesome. Remembering that, or like learning that you can get fizz taken as elemental on eldritch implicits for a lot of your gear, man, dude, I don't know how the fuck I forgot that for so fucking long, but it helps. That's 7% more damage that you're taking as elemental after your
Mm-hmm.
armor and things of that nature, which is fucking huge. It's way more than the 7% it makes it sound like. It's like 14% less damage. like,
Yeah, and if you
like
do, if you have that on every piece,
have that on every piece, you get some maximum fire resist, so now you're taking even less damage on the skill. You increase how much armor you're getting through like corruption implicits or fucking jewels. Like there's so many ways of making your character like really good and really like defensive and still like able to do damage. But it's never just, oh, my chaos damage, oh, I don't have enough only HP. Like it's always a combination of shit. It's just like, nah, you died there because you took a big hit. That big hit caused you to bleed, and then you ran. Like
or in
I
my
understand.
case, 90% of my deaths are like you took chaos damage to the face.
Yeah, you die. Sorry. It's
It's just like, why am I dying every hit? And it's just like chaos damage, chaos damage.
just like,
Like what
oh
is?
yeah, because aura bots can
Most
only
pe-
give you so much.
I sometimes forget that chaos damage doesn't have to be a dot.
Right.
Like a lot of people are under impression that chaos damage is like, oh, it's a dot. Like you see your life just draining, which sometimes it is.
Yeah, no, but
Oh, but it
sometimes it's
also could be poison, right?
or it could be fizz as extra.
Yeah.
Like,
But
so you're taking like a
sometimes
chunk.
there's a spell that could be doing just pure chaos damage and just hit you. Boop. And if you have minus 45, 46% chaos resist, yeah, it'll kill you. One
Oh
hit.
yeah, yeah.
It could be from
Especially
a
when
white mob.
especially when you think about it, like if you have -60, because -60 is the cap, the no minus cap, and you get hit by a 2,000 damage thing that has a 30% fizz as extra on top of you, right? So you're taking a third of that, which is a little bit less than 700, and then you're multiplying that by 60%. And most people that are running in these types of maps don't really have over 4,000 health.
Yeah.
You're getting one shot by literally the added damage to the physical
And
hit.
God forbid you
Not
have a modifier that gives you more damage, more crit,
so
less,
yeah.
less.
Now you're taking a crit. Like,
Yeah, it's like it's. I think most players underestimate the influence of some mods and some of the criterias. Like, oh,
and
this
even how
ain't
they interact.
because even I do. I'm like sometimes I go in like, yo, I got fucking spent 80 divs on this shit. What the fuck? And it's just like, oh, I haven't capped my chaos resist because I have to spend another 80, 90 divs in order to go chaos inoculation.
Yeah,
And I just have to live with this. I
you
can't
just
run
have to
chaos
live with it.
maps.
Yeah,
So
it's unfortunate, but it's a very fun puzzle to play. It really, really is. This is just one of those games where if you're willing to get kicked in the nuts every now and again, like You'll and be willing to listen to what the game's trying to tell you. If you die instantly walking into places, it's telling you to fucking work on your defenses or stay the fuck out. Like, don't just keep running into there, burning fucking 6 portals, trying to fucking get the chaos that you left in the map.
I
Like,
think um, the one monkey wrench I think that this League Necropolis adds is the unknown mobs that it adds to maps. There is a repository of I don't remember what it's called, but it's a repository where you can look up the mods that spawn in any particular map, and it gets updated every league. So typically, if you're dying in a specific map, you can look up that map and look up the repository of like what exactly spawns in this map at any given moment, right? And you'll see the more likelihood, and you could typically find the name of the mob. And let's just say you're running into these mobs, and you're like, they keep killing you. I'm like, what the hell? You can look up that mob name and say, what does this mob do? And it'll tell you. It'll tell you, typically the average damage it does, what type of damage, even the name of the skill sometimes that they have. I don't even know how to fuck kind of metadata. I don't even know how to get this metadata, but they get it. And you'll be able to do that. I've done that in the past with, certain mobs that for the life of me, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you could do it that way, but the Necropolis, what it does, as these extra mobs that right now are not located in some of these repositories, or maybe they are at this point. Maybe at this point they are, but
I think it might be just the fact that when you open a map, it tells you, and you can make it random.
But does it tell you what type of damage they do and all that? I don't remember.
You can look them up because they're not unique. So you can look up the mob instead of the zone they spawn in.
Okay. So yeah, and there's that. So sometimes, when you're running into a brick wall, sometimes the best thing to do is just take a step back and analyze that brick wall. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And don't just keep
your gameplay can help.
That's true.
Like, like that shit really does help.
Use your if you have a video card, use your shadow play.
Yeah.
Just record a clip. Record 1 or 2 clips, share it with a friend, like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? Share it with the community, share it with Reddit, share it in the forums. Someone will tell you exactly what's happening.
Even just the fact that it's moving, that you can look at it in slow motion and you're able to pay attention to everything that's happening on the screen, you might gather more information than you had before. Yep. So you die really, really fast, but you didn't realize that you got hit by 4 separate things. So you didn't actually get one shot, but essentially is the same thing. That matters. That means you got shotgun, which means your way around that is going to be slightly different.
And this is I think this is especially important for those characters those kind of people who make dodge characters.
Yeah.
I never enjoy making dodge characters because it always feels like I'm dying. But most of the time what is happening is that you're getting hit multiple times and you can only fucking Neo so much until you get hit. And then you get hit and you die.
Yeah. I learned that to run dodge, you need armor and fucking suppression.
Yeah.
If you have those 3 things, then evasion is great.
I can't just Neo everything. No, you can't.
But I've found that there is a more effective way of dealing with it, which is how this character deals with it, which is Defiance of Destiny, some recoup on your rings, and armor. Lots of armor. No evasion at all. You don't dodge shit. You let
just take everything to your face. Just
yeah, but you're gonna heal for like half your HP, like before every hit.
I will say that in this game, it always feels like armor is king.
Armor seems to be king, especially being that like you can make it apply to some like LE damage. You can make it
with the exception of ES. I think ES you can go crazy with ES.
You can go crazy with ES, but you're still going to need armor. Because if
I'll take that back, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because you could take 20k in your ES damage and just die.
Yeah, no. I take it back. No, you're right. No, you're right. I've seen. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Just feel like I have 20,000 ES, and it's just like I'm gonna do this map to showcase the build, and then they die instantly, and you're like, You
white,
had
white,
how
just
much
breeze on it.
ES? Yeah, it's just like, how much ES did you have? And he's just like, oh yeah, sometimes you get one shot. And it's just like, oh, that's awful.
Yeah. No, yeah, armor's king. Armor's king.
Armor's really fucking good. It's crazy.
Um, I don't know. I'm all tapped out. Anything else you want to add?
No, I am good. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the league if you haven't. Like it's a fun one. Buy yourself a headhunter. Buy yourself a mage flood.
At least if only that, just experience it.
Yeah, fucking rework your build a little bit. Try something you normally wouldn't. So many cool builds. There's so many cool items. So many cool farming strats. It's like, man, there's a lot of ways to make money right now, and although it's late league and you know that might not feel like the best, it's still fun. It's still fun. Duo queue with somebody.
Like always, if you're listening this far into our recording, hit a button.
Oh right, buttons.
Hit a button. We don't ever ask you, but it does help us immensely into this algorithm. Gets us out there, and share with a buddy. If you like what we talk about, share what we buy. Share with someone. That also helps us immensely as well. Grow our audience.
Send it out.
And keeps us motivated, keeps us in it. Just FYI, obviously our recordings may slow down just a tad. I'm moving, and I might be offline for a week or two, maybe 3, as I transition over to the new space. Get my rig all set up again. Honestly, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm really, really, really thinking about reformatting. And if I do that, it might keep me out for another additional week. So that might be about 4 weeks I'm out of commission.
You're gonna reformat? Oh god.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I keep looking at my hard drive. I'm like, there's so much bullshit I need to delete, but I don't want to go into each individual. I'm one of those guys that's just like, just delete everything, start from scratch.
Delete it all.
So I'm debating it right now. I may not do it right away, but I'm debating it. So, I'll see if I can post some shorts here and there, but nothing crazy. So, you may see radio silence for the next couple of weeks until I do that transition.
I'll try to get some tech clips out.
Yeah, but until then, hope you guys have fun. We'll once we get back online, we'll be posting shit again, talking to see what's going on with Path 2 and Path 1, and yeah, see when we go to from there. Obviously, there's going to be some updates for the other ARPGs out there. There are a few bangers out there, actually.
Really? What's going on?
There's a lot. The problem is that there's a few. There's a lot of single player ones. There's a lot of single player ARPGs coming out that are really nice, really great. But the problem is that they're single player, and it's just like, how great can they be? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, it's whatever. Like this, No Rest of the Wicked. I'm drawing a blank right now. God damn it.
It's might be good for people who are wanting to play like SSF.
Yeah. Possible. But yeah, either way. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, enjoy.
Good night.